Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you had a wonderful fall weekend. I got some fun stuff to cover today. First thing is a reminder, we had the 5Q tape breakdown last week. Here's what happens when you correct somebody, and more importantly, the easy fix to avoid it. Do we ever want to correct the client? No, but I hear it all the time when I listen to tapes, and it's not because the advisor's being mean. It's not because the advisor's being a jerk. Why do advisors correct clients? Why do advisors correct clients? Why do they do it? Because they want to what? Help. They want to help. That's right. They want to teach. They want to preach. They're not doing it to be mean. They're doing it to show that they're smart. They're doing it to be helpful to the client, but does it matter? When you correct somebody, immediately what happens to their thoughts and their emotional makeup about you? Yeah, they shut down. They get defensive, they get argumentative. So please, 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 if you have not listened to this breakdown, go back and listen to it so you can hear what happens when you do this and why you want to avoid it and how you can easily avoid it, okay? Banks just offered a sobering update to Wall Street, and it likely means a big move in stocks is on the way. U.S. banks are tightening their lending standards for a key loan category. A multitude of data points and predictive indicators suggest an economic downturn is likely for the U.S. Did U.S. banks just spoil the party for Wall Street? On the surface, things appeared going well for the U.S. economy. Hey, we've got low job, we got unbelievable jobs out there with unbelievable low unemployment. We've got people out buying stuff. We got, all sorts of good things out there. But despite what most economists in 2023, with the notion that the U.S. would enter a recession, the U.S. unemployment rate remains near historic lows. Headline inflation rate, as measured by Consumer Price Index for urban consumers, is well off. It's 2022 high, so it's getting better. And the second quarter gross domestic product came in stronger than anticipated. Good. All great. However, when domestic banks believe trouble is arising or already dealing with a variety of economic disruptions, they're liable to tighten their lending standards on C&I loans. And guys, what are they doing right now? What are they doing? And when did they do that before? 2000 to 2002. 2008, 2010. During the COVID crisis. And where are we again? So when banks quit loaning, what happens? And this is when banks quit loaning, what happens? Come on, guys. What happens? Yeah, spending stops, or at least slows. Exactly right, Bert. Banks aren't the only potential party poopers of the Dow and the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. The concern for Wall Street is that tightening lending standards and C&I loans represents just one more growing list of metrics that points to downside the U.S. economy market. So this is M2 money supply, boom. Then again, the previous 4 times M2 money supply has declined by at least 2%, and we're at what? 3.75. And the last time it's done at least 2, so we're almost double what it did, was 1870s, 1921, and the Great Depression. One panic, 1893. Every prior incident to meaningfully drop would result in deflationary recession and hard times for investors. Also, the U.S. Conference Board LEI was down. We talked about this about 2 months ago, down 7.8 year over year in June to a level consistent with the 20% drop in the S&P 500. Also, we have the inversion of what's happening with the yield curve, guys. What's happening with the yield curve? How, dudes? And when the yield curve does this, what does that portend to? Recession. So we talked about this last week, guys. We don't know what's going to happen. Have no clue what's going to happen. Giving a client an 11% locked-in cap for 7 years, where if the market falls, they lose nothing. When the market goes up, they lock in at least a maximum of 11%. If it's less, they'll still get 100% of that. 100% of that. Oh, it went over. They get 11%. 100%, 11%, 11%, 11%, 11%, 100% of the market. 11%, guys, Now is the time to do this. I mean, look at this. How many of your clients, if I went and showed them these graphs, this is a guaranteed. You'll never lose money on this. Which one would you rather have, this or your money in the market? What are they going to all say? Guys, if I showed these two graphs to your clients, how many of them would want to move 100% of their money out of the friggin' market into this? And Jerry, you brought up a couple of big problems that I hadn't even thought about when it comes to this and using this product. And what are those?
Yeah, I mean, but first of all, it's just kind of mind-blowing looking at this chart here during that lost decade where people lost money and you're able to guarantee the rate. A couple of the big points on this is, first of all, we're not the only ones talking about this, right? So it's not just us, it's every other IMO, and they're talking to their reps, and their reps are out there looking for people. They're going to talk to their prospects and their clients, and some of their prospects might be some of your guys' clients. That's something you have to think about when you have a product like this. You know, talking even to Joe Spillman here, I can't think of, and he can't think of a time since really FIAs have been around that there's ever been an 11% cap that's guaranteed for an entire 7-year period. So we're talking about something that's never ever happened in here. And so there's this unique opportunity. And so the thing you want to make sure you're doing is, and Mike's always talked about this all the time, go out and talk to your clients about it. Go out to them, make sure they know about it, because it's a heck of a deal. And the great part about that, because we always have this concern sometimes, like, oh, hey, I don't want to cannibalize my book. I may have some managed money there. I'm getting some trails. That's my livelihood. First of all, you can get some trails on this. But most importantly, you don't want that to hold you back from going back and talking to your clients, because the great part about it is if you go talk to your client and they want it, at least you know that you talk to them about it and they're going to do that business with you, and they're not going to do it with someone else. And if you go and show it to them and they love it and think it's great, but they're like, hey, you know what, it's not for me, which I think would be absolutely crazy with what you can get with this. I don't think anybody should really say no if they're in their right mind. But if they did, at least you know they're going to say no to who else? Any other competitors. Absolutely, they're going to say
guys,
no.
If you're not talking to this about to your clients, if you're not talking to this about this to your clients, somebody's going to talk to them about it. Somebody will talk to them about it, whether it's a friend, neighbor, relative, another advisor, whatever. And they're not going to stay with you. You didn't show this to them. You didn't. They're going to give it to the other advisor. So sorry for jumping in there.
No, that's a great. It's just a great point, and it's like it's always a sad day when I'm on a phone call with a rep and they come to me beforehand and they're like, hey, one of my clients here, I don't get it. They didn't come to me and they're trying to move some money. Can you help me fix this? Like, how do we come in here? Is there something better than this product? Or how do we come in here on the back end? It's way harder to try and come in after you're the guy who didn't show them it, when all you had to do was go show it. And everybody, everybody always says, hey, you know what, my client's loyal here or whatever. But you know what, they like good information. I think the point, Mike, I think it was last week you were talking about, or you and I having that personal conversation. You have loyal clients, and then you have clients that are satisfied. And unless they're referring people to you, they're not loyal. So if someone else shows them a good idea, they'll go do it with them because it's a good idea. So
can I jump in there a second?
Yeah, go for it.
So one of the CEG Worldwide, they do so much research for advisors, and they went and pulled 17,000 clients, and they wanted to determine how many of the clients were satisfied, how many were dissatisfied, how many were loyal. And here's what they found out: they found out that fewer than 7% of clients were loyal. And here's how they determine loyal. Let's see if any of you guys can figure out. How did they determine loyal? These are people who are loyal and they would never, ever, ever leave you. I don't care if somebody showed them the best thing in the world, they would not leave their current, or they would not leave you, their current advisor. How did they determine that these people were loyal? What was the number one characteristic? Not years with the advisor. No, people will leave their advisor after 15 years. Remember, I took two people who their son was their advisor. So it isn't years with the advisor. Good guess, though. That's an awesome guess. What was the thing? Loyal clients refer. Loyal clients refer an average of 2.3 people per year. So if your clients have not referred to you, then what you have is a satisfied client, not a loyal client. You have a satisfied client. Loyal clients will refer to you because they're interested. They love you. They'll never leave you. They're very confident referring their friends, neighbors, and relatives. They're not hiding the fact that they're working with you. They're screaming it from the hills. And they want you to grow their business. They're loyal to you. They want you to grow your business. They are interested in you growing your business and staying in business and being successful. They're not ashamed or worried that if they refer somebody to you, that it'll blow up on them. So those are loyal people. The people refer to you. What they found is that the vast majority of people, very few people have dissatisfied clients, because if they were dissatisfied, they would have left their advisor a long time ago. So basically 90% of people are satisfied with their advisors. But here's what they found out with people who are satisfied with their advisors. They're going to stay with you until what? And Jerry, we talked about many moons ago when you first got into sales, you sold garbage service, right? Like decades ago. And so people were satisfied with their garbage service, right? Until what? Until you knocked on the door and did what?
Yeah, absolutely. They're satisfied, and then when they found out that, instead of paying, $90 a quarter for the garbage service or whatever it was, but they could pay $30 or $35, then instantly it was like, well, I'm getting the same thing. Why not go ahead and make the switch?
What if they've been with somebody in the garbage company for 10 years?
They did. It was shocking. They couldn't believe it, and they're like, "Wow!" Sometimes they almost felt like they're getting ripped off for 10 years. Actually,
right.
In some cases,
yes. So, guys, 90% of your clients are satisfied. The ones that have never referred to you, they're satisfied, and they're going to stay with you until somebody shows them a better thing. And I will guarantee you, as Jerry just said, Joe Spillman, who's been in the industry for decades, we've never seen this, a 7-year lock at 11% cap. Never seen it before. They will leave you if somebody else shows it to them, because they're going to stay with you until something's better. And I guarantee you this is better than any money manager out there. How many of your money managers are going to guarantee 11% cap and that they'll lose no money? And guys, are they being charged a fee for this? Are they being charged a management fee, a 1% management fee? Everybody answer this. Are they being charged a 1% management fee for this? Because you know what we're not including here? Management fee. So if your client, look to your client base. If they have not referred to you, they're satisfied. If anybody shows them this, you're screwed. Because you don't want to cannibalize your business? Well, guess what? If I'm going to cannibalize my business, I'd rather do it and get paid 7 years up front and be able to move that money back into the market and rebuild my business. Because when your business is cannibalized by them moving it to somebody else, when a client moves their money to somebody else, when will they ever move that money back to you? Never. Never, never, never. How would you approach friends who are not clients? I would invite them to a lunch and learn. I'd invite them to a lunch and learn, and I would just do a FIA presentation and then show them these graphs at the end. That's what I would do. How many people would be willing to go to spend an hour, 15 minutes with you if you're going to buy them lunch? And I would do it with my clients and have them invite their friends, neighbors, or relatives. Lunch is cheap. You can do it with box lunches in your office. You can do it at a local restaurant because they're very open to having these types of things during the lunch because they're a lot less busy than they're at night. I mean, there's lots of different ways to get you in front of your friends and your clients' friends, but the best way to do it is through little focus groups, lunch and learns, etc. That's the best way to do it. And I stepped on your toes again, Jerry. So
no, that's perfect. Good. I like it. Just going back and forth there. A couple other points. So now we know who are the people we would want to talk to first, right? It's the people who haven't referred to us, because those are the people that are satisfied clients, right? And then are also our loyal clients, because they're loyal. We love them. They're great people. We want to show it to them as well. But those satisfied clients, those are the ones we got to make sure of. And we know, hey, is Jim and Mary, have they referred some people to me? I got to make sure that they know about this, because I definitely don't want them running off somewhere else. But couple that brings me to my next point here, which is a lot of you guys have experienced this. We've seen, because there's record amounts of business flowing into fixed index annuities. One of the things that ends up happening, and we've all seen this, how many carriers over the last year have we seen this? All of a sudden, a product's really, really popular. Everybody likes it. You like it, I like it, every other advisor likes it. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you turn in an application, it takes 14 days for them to be able to look at it. You can bet within another, as this starts coming through, it's like a python. They take a big bite of that meal, and then things slow down, and the python sits there, and all of a sudden, you're calling up me, and we want to help get things move through, but we only have so much power because there's so much business going through. You can bet within a couple of months that python's taking that big swallow of it, and then your new business departments are going to slow down. It's going to slow down, and it's going to get a little frustrating. So what I would say is, right now, get out ahead of the curve. Get out, talk to your clients, talk to those prospects, and get on this, because the business is going to slow down. New business in terms of things moving through. So I want to give you that warning. And then that brings me to my last point, which we've all seen as well on this is when all of a sudden they start taking on massive amounts of business, they don't let us know their internal strategy for how they want to bring things on, or how they want to do things, or how they want to work through this. So there's two things. The rate may not always be at that 11%. They may get to a point where they're like, hey, I don't think the Treasury is going down anytime soon, but we don't know that. That's something we don't know. But one thing I do know is when they get a ton of business, and one way that they can say, hey, we got to catch up, we got to slow things down a little bit, is they can adjust that rate. So if you get in right now when the rate's really good, you can know that, hey, the rate's here, but they may change it. They can't, obviously it's guaranteed for 7 years, but the rate you get in on, they could change that due to we have a pile of business coming in. We just got to slow it down so our staff can catch up, which we have seen in the past. Or obviously we could have some rate changes happen. But most importantly, the one that I can foresee kind of happening, because we've just seen it happen with a dozen other carriers, is they get really, really, really busy, and then it gets frustrating to deal with. Or B, they need to then change their rate just to slow down some of that business. So a couple things to keep in mind to make it happy hunting along the holiday, during the holiday season that's kind of coming up here. So that's kind of some of the points I wanted to bring up.
So the purpose of this discussion is, guys, you should be calling your clients onesies and twosies on this, or you should be doing it wholesale, or as Bert was asking, how can I get in front of a group of people right now? So should you be inviting clients in a group to do this, to get it in front of them as quickly as possible? Because I would not be doing it onesies and twosies. I'd be getting in front of as many of my clients as I could in the next couple of weeks. Because why else would it be a good thing to get in front of your clients in the next couple of weeks? What's going to happen in the next couple? Thank you, Bert. Bert, you're on fire today. The holidays. They're going to start coming up with all sorts of excuses of why they can't meet with you. And I guarantee you, the chance of this being an 11% cap in January ain't very high. Hey, could be 12, could be 8, but it ain't going to be 11. Things are going to change in the next 3 months. So you're going to have people delay, and by that point, guess what? It's too late. Do it now. And these two slides are available on last week's coaching call. So if you're looking for these slides, they're on the website attached to last week's coaching call. Make sense? Coolio. So the thing our main topic today, thank you very much, Jerry, for that. Those are things I hadn't thought about, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, you bet. My pleasure.
Coolio. A new income decumulation framework. Financial advisors confront complexity of generating retirement income for their clients every week, coordinating with Social Security claiming strategies, variable spending patterns, minimizing Medicare premiums, tax loss harvesting, tax-efficient withdrawal sequences across the accounts holding, one of the most challenging problems in finance. This article outlines and compares different decumulation approaches advisors use today. But the big thing I want to make a point here is a recent survey by American College shows that 71% of clients would look for a retirement income specialist as the top attribute for selecting advisors. So how many of your clients look at you as the retirement income specialist versus a wealth manager? The retirement income specialist versus a financial advisor? The retirement income specialist versus a whatever you want to call yourself? You want to be known as a retirement income specialist. See, the best, and here's the thing, conventional wisdom and proportional withdrawal sequences. The best financial planning software programs that most advisors use recommend the same general withdrawal sequence to generate income in retirement. Several years ago, we described the withdrawal strategy as the conventional wisdom, which is 80% of advisors still recommend that their clients generate income by withdrawing funds from taxable accounts until exhausted, and then from tax-deferred accounts until exhausted, and finally from tax-exempt accounts until exhausted. Is that what we recommend, guys? Do we have a tool that shows this is a folly, that this is wrong, that you should not do this? Do we have a tool on the 5Q website that shows doing this is stupid? You have a tool on the website that will show that 80% of advisors are stupid with how they have clients withdraw from their accounts. What's the tool we have? Not the sale plan, because sale plan just talks about pulling money out of different accounts and putting it into different buckets. So I'll show you the tool here in a second. Good thing, because nobody seems to know what that tool is. Good thing you tuned in today, because I'll show you that tool here in a second. Note that most large institutions still recommend this withdrawal sequence. So even the big guys, the Charles Schwabs, the Fidelities, the JP Morgans are still recommending this the wrong way. If you're a financial advisor, you clearly can provide more value to clients, over $1 million more in the case outlined. And in this article, it shows that if you have you can actually increase somebody's income by $1 million over their life expectancy. Essentially, proportional withdrawals are determined by calculating the ratio of. So this is what we recommend, proportional withdrawals, because it's a very easy technique, and I'll show you the tool we have for that here in a second. So what is a proportional withdrawal? Well, it means that you determine by calculating the ratio of the client's taxable, tax-deferred, tax-exempt accounts relative to the total value of all savings, and using those percentages to fund the spending amount. For example, in the current year, if you have 30% in taxable accounts, 50% in tax-deferred accounts, and 20% in tax-exempt accounts, well, then you're going to, guess what, if you have $100, if you need $100, how much of it is going to come from the taxable accounts then, guys? Using the proportional, not the conventional, which 80% of people do and the big institutions do, which is absolutely wrong. The proportional way, if you have $100, you need $100 withdrawal, how much is going to come from tax-deferred? Well, 30%, $30. Yeah, that's right. How much from tax-deferred? $50. How much from tax-exempt? $20. So where is this tool? Well, under marketing, under events, our Tax Smart Retirement Package talks about this. It walks clients through it. So I'm going to just whip through the actual presentation before we get into the heart of this. So this is actually the slideshow that you could show somebody that proves this. So obviously, this is going to take you about an hour to get through. We don't have that kind of time, so I'm going to zip through the slides. But we start out by saying, hey, how much would you regret if you bought a pizza? Let's say you were going to have a party, you bought $150 worth of pizza for your kids' softball team, and then after it was delivered, you open the door to pay the guy, and you find out, oh shoot, we had a coupon that we could have used for this that would have saved us $50. What do you feel when that happens? Frustrated, right? So which after-tax income do you want? If you have $80,000, you need $80,000 of retirement income. Do you want the $75,000 out of the 80, or do you want 80 out of the 80? What's everybody going to say to that? They all want the 80 out of 80. That's a $4,000. That's $5,000 or $4,600 out of your pocket. You could have easily, dudes. That's a vacation, a free vacation by being smart. After 10 years, that's $46,000. It's a new car. After 20 years, it's $93,000. And you can do that with no hassle, no paperwork, no moving assets around, no compliance shenanigans, just by being smarter. A very little, and this is where you would talk a little bit about yourself. Hey, can we see in the future? No, but let's take a look at this. See, this is the gross domestic product since 1790 of the U.S. So obviously in World War II, guess what? Went way up. I'm sorry. This is the natural debt as compared to the gross domestic product. So here's the percentage of gross domestic product that we're talking about here of national debt. Obviously, we were taking a lot of debt during World War II, and what are we doing now, guys? What's happening to our debt now? See, this is talking about national debt. This is our national debt as compared as a percentage of domestic products. So in World War II, 100%. Now we're at what? Where are we at now, guys? Yeah, it's exploding. We're exploding. Here's the importance of that. Now look at this graph. Well, guess what? Go back up here. World War II, if you got this much debt, how does the government raise money? They do what? They increase taxes. So when it exploded here, the top federal tax rate went to 94% until they paid it down, and then went down, down, down. We're at 37% now. What do you think is going to happen going forward? Again, look at this. Boom, they went up to 94%, and it stayed there until right here, until we got that debt down. Well, we're way up here now. What is the government going to have to do? Hey, guys, everybody says, well, we need to cut spending. Well, what are the two biggest things? What takes up 85% of what the government spends? What are the two things the government spends on that takes up 85% of what they spend? Yep, Social Security and defense, or social programs and defense. Are they ever going to be able to cut Social Security drastically enough to affect that debt, to actually lower the debt? They may be able to slow it down, but are they going to bring it down? No. How many people are in favor of the U.S. and what's the chance with the way that defense companies pay off Washington? Get a little bit of my political leanings here, but let's all agree that we live in a society where we want to spend a lot of money on, and we don't have the willful desire to spend less on defense. So how much is there to start to lower the debt then? If we're not going to lower defense and we're not going to lower the social network, there's zero room. So what's that say? The only way they're going to do what? They're going to increase the taxes. And how many people, again, out of role play here, how many people are going to agree with this? The taxes are likely to go up. In your audience, how many people are in agreement that taxes are going to try? Yeah, they all are. So this is what we're looking at here. Impending fiscal pressures. Well, we got the Highway Trust Fund depleted. We've got Medicare and the hospital fund, 83% depleted. We got pension benefits. We've got Social Security. We got all sorts of things that are going to cause problems. How will the government make up the shortage? Spend less? Ha, ha, ha. They're going to do what? Raise taxes. How do you protect yourself? Adapt or thrive? Again, I'm wailing through this, okay? But this is the tool that we have to promote, instead of the conventional wisdom, the proportional wisdom. So we're working with the savings, but during retirement, we actually pull that money out. So the power of tax deferral, sure. How you save your money is important, because tax deferred, yeah, you're going to get a lot more, but it's how you pull your money out. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, again, some of this stuff is just for fun. Here we go. But you know what's more important about how you save your money? It's how you pull it out. And 3 ways to generate the most retirement income: Social Security strategies, retirement withdrawal strategies, and retirement-focused tax saving strategies. We're going to talk today about this, and we'll show you how you can get this and this for free at the end of the seminar, but this is what we're going to talk about today. And yes, it matters. So first, we need to know all the different taxes: taxable, traditional, Roth. You guys know that. Here's why it matters. Let's say Mary's single, 62 years old, receives $25,000 in Social Security. She has assets of $300,000 home, $500,000 in assets, $200,000 in brokerage accounts, $250,000 in IRAs, $50,000 in a Roth IRA, and she wants $60,000 a year. Okay. We assume an average of a 5% balanced portfolio return. And so traditional, which is you take your taxable accounts out first, right? This is what 80% of people do, or advisors do, and this is what all of the big brokerage houses do, is the traditional, which is tax account, pull all that money out. Once that's gone, go to the tax deferred account. Once that's gone, go to the tax free account. So she'd pay an estimated $69,000 in taxes. So instead, if you use the proportional method, which means that you'd put the same proportion of taxable, tax-deferred, and Roth out on a yearly basis. You'd pay only $43,000 in taxes. That is a 38% reduction in taxes just by being what? Smarter. So by withdrawing one account at a time, we'd run out of money somewhere in the 23rd year. We pull out the taxable, then the traditional, then the Roth, $69,000 in taxes. But if we think smart and we pull a proportional, again, a little bit out of the Roth every year, a little, and then the 50% out of proportionality and 40% proportionality. So, right, and again, I'm going to spend a lot more time making sure they understand this in our actual seminar, but showing them, then you would have a full extra year of, you pay 38% less taxes and have a full extra year of retirement. Just by being what? Guys, does it take any more paperwork to do the proportional versus conventional? Any more paperwork? Does it take any extra software? If you have a calculator, can you do this? Now, out of role play again, the reason I love this seminar for clients is because instead of promising them that we're going to show them how to do things if they come to see us in the office, am I actually showing them how to do it right here? Am I like saying, pulling the curtain down saying, well, if you come to see me, then I'll show you how to do it. Or I'm actually saying, hey, aren't you glad you came today? I am actually showing you an easy technique you could do at home to lower your taxes by 38%. Now, why would I do that? Because at the end, I'm going to show them if they like this. Well, first of all, will a lawn service place show you how you can do it yourself? Sure. But what percentage of people want to do it themselves? They'd rather what? Oh, you know what? I get it. I see what you're saying. But can you do it for me? So showing them this, guess how many people would even want to pull out their calculator rather than just have you do it for them every year? But what you're doing is instilling trust by showing them a technique without saying, it's behind the curtain. You got to come see me to see it. No, we're showing them right here and there. So we're going to do two things. One is we're going to show them there's actually even better ways than this, because now they trust us. But even if they only want to do it this way, most people are going to say, you know what, would you take me on and do this for me? My guy's never shown this to me. So instead of taxable, we recommend proportional, and that'll save you 38% in taxes just by thinking smarter, no extra paperwork, no extra work at all on your part, reduce the taxes by 38%, minimize your future damage from tax hikes, and added one full year of income to retirement. You might say, hey, okay, let's do this. Well, maybe, maybe not. Maybe not, because you know what? Maybe this is a better way to do it. We don't know for sure. We have to do what? Because we can actually lower taxes even more than this. What we found is that one size fits all. No, we found that there's a good strategy, which is proportional. And if you like that 38% savings, guess what? There's even a better strategy that would fit you. It just takes calculation. So we need to look at your assets, your income, your tax return, your lifestyle, how much you actually need, and then we personalize your solution, and we can lower your tax by even more than just the 38%. Because here's another technique you could use. You could use a return technique where we actually look at all of these things on you, and then we calculate how to best utilize your current accounts to create even more tax-free income. Even more tax-free income. And you guys all know what we're doing here, right? We're keeping them in the lower tax bracket, moving the tax-deferred stuff into a Roth is all we're doing here. We're not telling you. So we've already shown them how to do one thing. We're not going to show them how to do this. We're just going to say this is possible, but this you do actually need what? We need to crunch this stuff through our what? Software. And guys, there's a script for all of this stuff. You don't need to remember what I'm saying. On each one of these slides on the presentation, we tell you exactly what to say underneath it, okay? And tax advantage of no or low taxes. Well, guess what? We're going to keep you in the lowest tax bracket using the standard tax deduction. Means we can move 100 to keep you in the lowest tax bracket. We want to spend no more than $105,000. That means you can spend $60,000 on life expenses. We can take a $45,000 strategic withdrawal from your tax deferred, and we convert that to a Roth. We pay at a lower tax rate, and then future we get a tax free. or tax harvesting strategy every year. And again, I'm whipping through this. We have scripts for this on each of these slides, so you can actually do it with the client. Just running out of time here. So you can reduce your taxes by up to 38% very easily by yourself using the proportional strategy. In addition, you can actually reduce the tax you pay on your IRA and retirement accounts withdrawals by 70%. Would you like to do that? How many of your the people in the audience are going to say they'd like to reduce the taxes they pay on the IRA and retirement accounts by 70%? How many would say yes? Yeah, they all would. And we can show you how to reduce the tax you pay on your investment income. That's your non-retirement accounts. Get you to the 1% tax bracket out of that. How many are going to say they want that? Guys, these are two what? So these are two things that I'm saying, hey, it's behind the curtain. It's behind the curtain. You got to come see me. You got to come see me. But why do we tell them they got to come see us for these? Because we actually have to do what? Crunch their particular personalized solution through our software. How many people, and again, now why do they believe us that we can do these things with this seminar? Why do they believe that we can actually do these things? If you're paying attention here 5 minutes ago. Yes, we already proved, that's right. We already proved earlier with the proportional, we showed them exactly how to do it. Exactly how to do it. We also showed them how to do the, how to move money, keeping below that $105,000 of income, move from your deferred into a Roth in the lowest tax bracket so that later it can be tax-free. We've shown them the techniques of doing it. We didn't try to hide it. We actually showed them how they could do it if they chose to do it themselves. Most people won't. They'll want you to do it for them. But then we're saying, even the people who want to do it themselves, they're saying what? Guys, that's a good question, Artie. That's a good question. What software am I referring to, guys, with this? What software do we have where I'm going to look at their age, their assets, their income, their taxes, their lifestyle, etc.? Yeah, Andre's got it. How do I treat every client at the second meeting? What is my job? If I show them how to do all these things, what could they do with this information, guys? If I show them how to do proportional, if I offer to do that, they can take it to their guy, right? So how do I prevent them from taking it to their guy? The advisorectomy, that's right. A wedge between them and the current advisor. So the software I'm talking about is what then, guys? What's the software I'm talking about? The 21-point checklist, correct. The 21-point checklist. But wait a minute, you promised all these nice things of how to get less than 70% and how to get 1%. Well, at the next meeting, I say, now before we talk about those things, we need to look at your current situation. Now, if I go to a dermatologist and I say, I've got this wart on my nose. I hate this wart. When I walk down the street, everybody looks at me and says, look at that ugly wart on that ugly guy's face. I hate it. I need it off. I need it off. I need it off. And the dermatologist says, so I want that nice thing of getting is having a wart on my nose life-threatening, guys? No. But doggone it, it's bugging the heck out of me. I need that gone. And then the dermatologist says, oh, we'll take care of that. But here's what I'm more concerned with. See this mole here? That's melanoma. That'll kill you in 6 months if we don't get that off. Now, how concerned am I about the wart? What am I concerned about now? Wart or mole? Is the wart even part of my concern right now? No, the mole. So when they come in to do these things, we do a 21-point checklist. And how many people, and guys, I've been doing this since 1997. Our advisors have been doing this since 2023. And we've been using different types of seminars where we've talked about software. And they all go do the 21-point checklist and when you use my scripts, guess in 23 years of other guys doing it, 6 years of me doing it, including myself, guess how many times an advisor said, but wait. How about that 70%? How about that 1%? Or how about that Social Security income? Or how about whatever that seminar is about? Do they care what the seminar is about a week later after I do a 21-point checklist? What is burning a hole in their brain by the end of the 21? What is burning a hole in their guy getting ripped off? So they're more concerned about getting 7% less with tax. We'll do all this stuff. When are we going to do all this stuff? When are we going to talk about reducing their taxes by 70%? When are we going to? And guys, do we show you on the website how to do this? These are just simply what? These are unique selling, two of the unique selling propositions. Do we have exact instructions for you on how to do these things? Yeah, just look it up under the USPs. We have the exact instructions on how to do it. But we only do these things for them when what? They move the money. That's right, Artie, when they move the money. So the software we're talking about is running them through a 21-point checklist. So also, we're talking about reducing taxes. Why? Because we want to screw the government? Well, maybe, but more importantly, we want to take that money that we were sending the government, and put it in our own pocket. So what we're trying to do is what? Increase our income. So what if I could also show you how to increase your income from your investments by 25% all the way up to doubling it without changing a single investment? And bonus, lessen your chance of running out of money. How many of you want to do that? Now, how many people in the audience are going to raise their hands? You don't have to move your money. It's just being smart. Like we said earlier with the proportional, that was smarter. This is being even smarter yet. And you don't even have to move your money to do it. How many people want to increase their income by 25% or more, all the way up to 100%, doubling their income without moving their investments, and lessen your chance of running out of money? Would I, if somebody didn't raise their hand in that, would I be willing to say, dude, you don't want to do this? Why? What's the downside? If I give you the information how to do this, you don't have to move a single investment, what would be the downside to you? Just by being a little bit smarter. Everybody else in the room here wants to be smarter. Help me understand why you don't want to be smarter. I mean, I'd be, at that point, I'll be an a-hole to them. I mean, that's not your guys' personality. That's my personality. I'd have no problem doing that at a seminar. Because, guys, truly, realistically, how many people want this? How many people would want 25% in more income? Well, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, what do I have to do to get this? Do I have to move my investments to you? Nope. You can keep your investments. Do I have to move my investments to like some other weird investment? Nope. Keep your investments. If you got CDs, leave them in CDs. If you got stocks, keep them in stocks. If you got annuities, keep them in annuities. If you got money, don't have to move your investments. Now, how many people want to do it? Well, I guess. Well, just before we do this, let me give you a bonus. It actually makes your money safer. It lessens the chance of running out of money. Now, how many people want to do it? So, guys, do you see the power of this seminar? So I'm going to get here in a second. But here's the thing. We can market this as a full-blown seminar. It can be a lunch and learn. It can be a focus group. It can be a small organization members. It could be with clients. Now, keep in mind, too, that the 11%, because earlier we asked, how can I get that 11% cap product? So this is, we can market this tax seminar like this way, but we can also market the 11% this way with an FIA presentation. It could be a full-blown seminar, could be a lunch and learn, could be a focus group, could be a small organization with church, Rotary, men's, women's groups, could be with clients. Both. I mean, this is how you get something like this in front of people. But back to the taxes again. In this article that I started this whole presentation with, there's even an additional way to increase retirement income even further. It's called the dynamic withdrawal sequence with optimal withdrawal targets, OWL approach. Me personally, I wouldn't even bother, because this proposed new approach enables a person's income and money to last longer. This approach incorporates 4 factors: changes and updates based on the client capital market, tax changes, coordination of decision including Social Security optimization, Medicare premium minimization, longevity hedging, whether to purchase guaranteed income, partial annual Roth conversions, optimal withdrawal levels using the OWL software. Guys, which way do you think I would do it? With the proportional method, or squeeze out a few percentage more doing this? But how many of your clients are talking, how many of your prospects have had their advisors talk to them about the OWL? Because even if I use the OWL approach for prospects, to get them in. Once I went through all of this stuff, guess what they would say? I'd say you can get 95% of the advantage by doing proportional, or we could do the owl with all of these hoops to jump through. And we'll have to meet every year, recalculate, do the seminar, do the software again, do the what. At the end, once they move their money to you, what would more people opt for, the owl or the proportional? Yeah, they'd all opt for the proportional. But to get them in, here's the thing. If they went back to their advisor and said, hey, can you show us how the owl approach with our withdrawals would work? How many of their advisors are going to say, oh, yeah, I can sit down and show you the owl approach? See, we want something that only we offer, that our competition does not. How many of the competition out there know, or how many of you knew about the owl approach before I talked about it today? The owl approach makes sense to clients because it personalizes the withdrawal sequence. Again, it's a lot of work. There are times when clients' marginal tax rates spike because this is a moving target. You're doing this every single day. If I had a client with $20 million, I would do this. If I had a client with $1 million, would I do this? No. Would I use it to get them in? Sure. And if they actually want to do it, yeah, I do, because here's the thing. You can buy the software. You don't do it. You buy this software called the Income Solver, and it'll do it for you. It just means you have to run the software every single year. So guys, I don't get paid for the software. We don't have the software. I don't get a kickback from the software. But if you want to do the owl approach, you don't even have to do it. You just buy this software, and it'll do it for you. And again, this is something that all of our competitors, if I was an advisor, I'd probably buy this. But then I would ask clients, do you want to go through this hassle every year, or do you want to do the proportional? And guess what? 99% of my clients would say, do you want to go through where we have to put all this stuff together for you? You have to bring in all your documents. We have to go through all this and do all this calculation every year. Or would you rather get 95% of the benefit with the proportional? What would everybody say? They'd want the proportional, right? But it's a way to get people in. How many of your, again, how many of your competitors have the owl? Even know what that means? Optimal withdrawal targets, the owl approach, how many even have that? Nobody. Make sense? Any questions on that? So, giving you two ideas. If you were looking at the tax idea, or you're looking at the 11% idea, which one is more important to be hitting right now? Using any of these, which one should you be doing? The tax one or the 11 one? Which one is time sensitive? Tom's got it. Which one is time sensitive? Which one is going to make you the money the quicker? Yeah, the 11. The 11. Everybody's saying the 11. So I had a question. Where's the presentation for 11? Guys, where's the presentation for the 11? Go to implementation meeting, go to fixed index annuity settlement presentation, and it is the participation rate. Now, here's the great thing about the participation rate presentation. What are we using for par rate? 40%. How much better, if they think the 40% is good, how happy will, and guys, we've sold billions, not millions, not tens of millions, not hundreds of millions, billions and billions and billions of dollars of FIAs using the proportional, or using the participation rate FIA presentation at 40%. If they like the 40%, you say, now here's the good news. It's no longer 40%. And then you whip out, just a second here. You whip out, I'm so good with computers, guys. Okay, and then you whip out these two slides at the very end of the participation rate. If I can get to it. Come on, you. Oh, here I go. Better way to do it. I am terrible at this. I'll have to do it you know what slides I'm talking about, guys? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll do this slide. This slide and that slide, this slide, and this slide. At the end of an FIA presentation, guys, how much better does this look than a 40%? If they buy it at 40%, how many are going to buy this? Everybody answer. If we've sold billions and billions at 40% participation rate, how many are going to, and I say, it's even gotten better. Look at this. Now, this is a time sensitive. We've jumped from just 40% up to this because of interest rates. You need to do this now. I mean, how many people are going to do it? They're going to do it all day long. Make sense?
And I'm just going to jump in there once, Mike, as well.
Yeah, please.
So I have those exact slides and actually a third one on the FIA presentation page. It's called the FIA Strategy Comparison Chart. And I've got it at the bottom. If you scroll all the way down, like on that page at the bottom, more info there, it's FIA Strategy Comparison Chart. So for the people that are just looking for those two charts that Mike was showing, and there's an actual numbers one that actually shows where we're getting the percentages from on the historical returns. That's right there. So, you know, if that's what you're looking for to add in to whatever, you know, presentation you're doing, you can certainly use that.
So guys, I was telling Jerry, I think Mass Mutual is stupid. Hopefully they don't listen to these coaching calls. Because if I was Mass Mutual, I'd say to hell with all you financial advisors. You guys are sucking whatever the commission is out of our bottom line. I'm just going to put this on at primetime TV. Guys, if they showed this on primetime TV, would they need a financial advisor to sell it? They could save themselves all the commission they're paying you guys, put this on primetime TV, and how big a phone bank would Mass Mutual need? How big a phone bank would Mass Mutual need if they did this at primetime TV? So get out there and get this in front of people. The tax idea is for when? When this product is gone away. That's when the tax idea is out there. But it was already on my coaching call schedule, so that's why I went ahead and do it. We can always circle back to it at a future time. But I'm putting you'd be nuts. With the tax idea, you got a lot of work to do. You got to do a 21-point checklist. You got to do that. How much work is that compared to just showing them this product and them saying, how much money can we put in? How much easier is it? We have a question, Missy. What product is this at Mass Mutual? What's it called again? I just bought 3 of them, so I should know. But
Legend 7.
I just send the check.
Legend 7.
Yeah, if you have any questions, just give Nate, Dan, or Jerry a call. Make sense? Yeah, I just guys, if I was Mass Mutual, I'd just be hit, boom, boom, boom. Then have what about? I'd have this for 30 seconds. Have a 10-second compliance slide that they ever have to read, and then I would do this again. And guess what? I'd probably hire about 10,000 people to man my phone boards, and just be done with it. Make sense? Well, how would you phrase an invite? Well, I would phrase the invite that what? New. I'm not going to even mention FIA. And again, are you talking about going? Are you talking about going to your clients, or are you talking about going to the public? With my clients, I'm going to say, oh, clients is easy then. Hey, I'd say brand new investment techniques available. Well, all you're going to do is talk about what? Coming in to learn about brand new investment techniques. Is this a brand new investment technique? Has this 11% cap ever been available, locked in for 7 years, been available ever before? No. So I would just say, hey, we're having a lunch and learn. We're talking about a brand new technique that nobody's ever talked about before. You get lunch, bring a friend, bring a relative, and we'll be happy to feed you. It's going to be about an hour long. Blah blah blah. How many of your clients would want to go to that? Well, here's the thing: if your clients don't want to go to that, you've just got your answer of how many of them are loyal versus how many of them are satisfied. If they don't want to go to that, where you're saying, hey, we've got a brand new technique, great way to increase your rates of return with less risk. We're going to feed you lunch just for the opportunity to show it to you. Because guys, remember, you already have all their money. They're supposed to already have their trust. So should they be afraid of coming into a lunch with you? If they're afraid of coming into lunch with you, it's going to be even more important you get in front of them. Why? You've got your answer about how loyal they are. Because if your clients won't come in to see you for lunch, no matter what you tell them, that's a problem. Does that make sense? Coolio. Today's script call is going to be on, if I get out of here, it's going to be on the Survivor's Guide. It's going to be quick and dirty because, again, that's the one script that we do not get them to hate their guy over. It's just a way to get our big toe in the water. So those of you will start here in about 10 minutes, so 10 after 10, and we'll do the walk through how we handle the Survivor's Guide. But what I know I've hammered this at 11%, but guys, please don't kill the messenger for hitting on this. I have never, ever seen anything like this, even in the heydays of the late 90s, early 2000s. I am over the top excited about this. I put in $1 million myself, which is all they'll even take without extra hoops to jump through in the last month. So I've never done that with a product ever before. Please get jumping on this. Thanks, guys. I'll see you. Those of you who are going to be on 10 after, I'll see you then. Otherwise, everybody else have a great week. Talk to you all next Monday. Thanks, everybody.